Chris, you and I were speaking pre flipping on the mics, and we were talking about the underpayment penalty
Yep.
um, has gone up to the IRS. So, in other words, um, if you owe the IRS any money, you're going to be charged an interest rate, and that interest rate has increased. Can you kind of talk about where that started and where it is now?
Totally. This is my hot button issue for 2024. I'm trying to really just make everybody aware of. There's a little bit of content out there on this right now, but it's maybe picking up steam. This began this fourth quarter here in 2023. The underpayment penalty interest, the interest rate that they charge you on any underpayment, has gone up to 8%. 2 years ago, it was 3%. There are plenty of years myself I could say that I didn't send in my quarterly estimated tax payments. I withheld them. I held on to them thinking, let's see if I can put a better use to this money and spend it, or be able to expense it, buy an asset, something to bring my taxes down. But now this interest rate at 8% is higher than a money market rate. Interest with the IRS compounds daily. But if you don't send in, and this is the reason it's such a hot button topic for me this year, is I would say the majority of clients that we work with don't all send their quarterly payments in on time. We all wish they did. It's a confusing thing to remember, but now it's going to be more painful. We coach people to have a tax account. We coach them to set aside 40% tax on every distribution they take out of their business. That'll cover a large portion of what they owe in tax. They got to be able to visualize the money set aside in that tax account. We coach them that every quarter, regardless of what the CPA said was your estimated tax payment, if you have more money in that account than the estimated tax payment, empty the account, send it into the IRS the first 3 quarters of the year. And you'll square up in the fourth quarter at your year-end planning, and you might have a lot less that you owe based on what you did in your business. But most of our clients have a six-figure tax bill every year because they've got big seven-figure businesses. They're taking home plenty of money, and they are, $100,000, 8% interest on that. Just simple interest is $8,000. Nobody likes paying that kind of, getting that notice of you paid this in penalties and interest.
Hmm.
And your CPA didn't make that rule up. Your lovely government did. Your IRS enforcement agency did. So be aware of it. 8% is something that many people do not remember. They haven't seen interest rates that high. We're seeing it now, obviously, in the everyday lending market, home mortgages, and things like that. But the IRS is not going to take less interest than the market. Okay, so that's just our cautionary advice: is make sure you know your quarterly estimated tax payments each year. Try to get them updated mid-year. Make sure that by year end you've covered at least 90% of what you've owed and you sent that in. Otherwise, be prepared to pay that unnecessary 8% interest.